has cleared the proposal. The order is yet to be signed, and we have been eagerly waiting for this order because I believe this is a game changer. This was a weapon system which was developed along with DRDO by private industry and is now seeing the signs for its early induction. So this, of course, is a landmark moment. Order, I'm sure, will follow shortly. As of now, the order is not yet received, but CCS clearance has come. Answering the second part of your question, which is that whether do we need to, we have repeatedly said that Kalyani Group has already established a very large capacity. We are already manufacturing more than 6 to 8 guns per month, and we are in the process of upgrading this to 12 guns per month. We really do not need any expansion of capacity because these capacities has already been established in anticipation of order like this. In fact, we are prepared to not even wait for 5 years. We are getting up to deliver this much faster than the time frame which has been indicated to us. So we are fully geared up for this.
Okay, I would also like to ask you, sir, when do you begin deliveries? I think the order says middle of this year. Could you give us a sense of how soon could deliveries begin once the formal contract is signed?
See, after the formal contract is signed, we are required to produce a prototype, one prototype, which is supposed to go through 1 or 2 mandatory firing tests or non-firing tests in our case. And thereafter, we should get the bulk production order, which means you get a clearance, bulk production clearance certificate, which will come. Thereafter, we can supply the guns. So I presume that by maybe the third quarter or the fourth quarter of next year, we should be seeing the guns flowing out from our plant to the Indian Army.
Right. Could you also give us a sense as to what has been the contribution in developing this gun from the DRDO side and also from the side of the private sector?
See, it is very difficult to kind of, quantify that. It has been a team effort. DRDO laid down the specifications, helped the industry to develop the weapon platform, and also to kind of, take it up to that level that it met all the desired QRs and actually became first in the world to achieve a very, very long range. In fact, this weapon platform offers almost 47 kilometers of range. So this development is landmark in that. But to quantify how much DRDO did and how much we did would be very difficult. It was a team effort, and I think it has borne very good fruits.
Right. What about exports, sir? What is the export demand for these guns right now?
So we have already exported some of these guns, and I would not be able to disclose the country, but most of the people are aware. We have already exported close to about 12 guns. We are also seeing quite a bit of interest from many countries all across the globe, both from West and from our other side, East. So we are hopeful that once Indian Army also starts buying, which is almost on the now verge of that order being placed, we should be getting some more traction for orders for ATACs going into the future.
Right. Now, we also believe that 65% of the components going into this weapon system are indigenously procured. Could you give us a sense how this gun, which has a 40 kilometer range, a 52 caliber, is largely domestically produced, gives us a self-reliance capacity, and how does this howitzer compare to some of the others around the world made by other OEMs?
So firstly, I think, let me correct that. In our weapon platform, which Kalyani Group will make, we are indigenous content will be more than 80%. Since we are making almost everything in-house, it's almost in excess of 80%. So it will be a purely indigenous, developed and Indian manufactured platform. So that is point number one. Secondly, this gun has got the capacity to give a range of 45 kilometers and above. And to us, it is perhaps the best gun in the world right now.
Right. That indeed is important. I would also like to ask you one quick question, sir. This is about the Defence Acquisition Council. A government statement has just come saying that DAC has cleared capital acquisition proposals worth over 54,000 crore rupees to enhance defence capabilities. This includes procurement of 1,350 HP engines for T-90 tanks, Varunastra torpedoes, airborne early warning and control aircraft systems, and guidelines have been approved to reduce timelines in capital acquisition process. Could you give us a sense of how the Indian defense industry is going to benefit from these orders? I'm asking you in the capacity of SIDM president, and will Kalyani Group also be benefiting?
So, firstly, if Indian industry benefits, Kalyani Group would benefit. That is the one sure thing. Now, coming as SIDM president and commenting on this, we welcome any effort done by the government to reform the acquisition process, to cut down the timelines. It is always a welcome process. We have been advocating for cutting down these acquisition cycles for a long time, and if government has now started to do that, it will be a welcome step. Regarding what will be the impact of these, any orders which are placed on Indian industry does have an impact. Our, value of production for domestic industry will certainly go up, and we are looking forward to, our Raksha Mantri gave us a target of 3 lakh crores for domestic production in next 3 to 4 years. So any increase and clearance of more proposal will only help us in achieving the aim which has been set out for the Indian industry.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bhatia, for joining us with your perspective, joining us at a short notice and giving us your view on these mega defense orders announced by the government today. So indeed, a big move for the defense industry, and defense stocks will be in focus tomorrow. Let's move on, shifting focus to the insurance sector now, which saw a flurry of activity this week. A total of 5 major deals were either announced or finalized, making it one of the most eventful weeks for the industry. Yash is here with all the details. Yash.
Just going by the numbers of transactions which have been announced in India's insurance sector, it clearly has been the most eventful week in the life of, Indian insurance sector. In the last 7 days itself, a total of 5 large deals have been either announced or they've been consummated. Let's go by the date. On March 13th, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali Ayurved, along with the Dharampal Satyapal or the DS Group, announced acquisition of about 98% stake in Magma General Insurance, valuing the company at 4,500 crore rupees. Adar Poonawalla will be selling nearly 75% stake in Magma General Insurance to Patanjali Ayurved. Also, Patanjali Ayurved will have about 74% stake in the company. They will pay about 3,330 crore rupees, and the DS Group will own about 24.5% stake for about 1,100 crore rupees. The next announcement came on March 17th. Bajaj Finserv and its promoter companies announcing acquisition of 26% stake held by Allianz in both life and general insurance joint ventures. Bajaj Finserv and its promoter companies will be paying about 13,780 crore rupees for a 26% stake in Bajaj Allianz General, valuing the company at 53,000 crore rupees. The deal being done at about 4.9 times FY24 price to book value and 2.6 times FY24 price to GDPI. Also, Bajaj Finserv and its promoter companies will pay about 10,400 crore for a 26% stake in the life insurance entity, valuing that company at about 40,000 crore rupees. This deal being done at about 1.84 times price to embedded value on a FY24 or a trailing basis. Now, who will acquire how much of Allianz's 26% stake? The first listed company, that will be Bajaj Investment, that will be acquiring about 19.95% stake, Bajaj Finserv about 1.01% stake, and Jamnalal Sons about 5.04% stake. On the very next day after this, which was March 18, came the next announcement. Hinduja-backed IIHL announced completion of acquisition of Reliance Capital. Through this, Hinduja Group will own 100% in Reliance General Insurance and 51% in Reliance Nippon Life Insurance. Hinduja Group will also consider listing of the two insurance entities in a period of about 2 to 3 years. On the same day, that was March 18th, LIC CEO told CNBC-TV18 that LIC will announce an acquisition of a health insurance company. As per LIC, the talks are at an advanced stage, and LIC will look to acquire not a majority but a significant stake in the company. Reports suggest that LIC could be looking at Manipal Cigna Health Insurance for the stake acquisition. As far as the final deal is concerned, that of course came today, March 20th, where about Prudential PLC PLC, which is present in the asset management as well as the life insurance industry in India, has said that they will be forming a joint venture along with HCL Group, Shiv Nadar's HCL Group, to enter the health insurance industry in India. Prudential PLC will be holding about 70% stake in this health insurance venture, and Vama Sundari, which is essentially the parent company or the promoter company of HCL Group, will be holding about 30% stake. So 5 large deals in just about 7 days. Still Friday remaining. God knows what's in store for that one.
All right. Thanks, Yash, for joining us with that comprehensive update. Time for a short break here on News Centre. But coming up, the government seeks details from Ola Electric over discrepancies in reported sales and vehicle registrations. A special discussion when we